And welcome out to the Bears Den here at Bryan High School, where tonight the Bryan Golden Bears will host the Defiance Bulldogs here on the Golden Bears Sports Network. If you're joining us on bryansports.com or WOSN, welcome in. I'm Chris Malanga alongside Tim Meister. And Coach, this is a good one. Always a good rivalry, Bryan Defiance. Defiance definitely on a different trajectory than the Golden Bears are when it comes to boys basketball.
Yeah, Defiance had a terrific advantage of being a very senior-laden team, kids who've been war-tested, coming off a terrific win last night at St. Mary's. But this has been a rivalry game for many, many, many years. It's always a game where both teams play very hard. A game also where you're going to see very similar types of styles. You're not going to see both teams try to get out and run a bunch. You're going to try to run a lot of very good sets, so should be a good matchup.
Last year, Defiance won the game 56-29, and the Golden Bears, the story of that game was they just got behind quickly. They were down 13-4 after the first quarter, 24-10 at halftime, and then in the fourth quarter, where they have been playing pretty well last year and this year, they got outscored 20-9, and they were just abysmal. They were 0-6 on the season by this time, 21% from the floor, 0 of 11 from three-point range. Defiance was 4-2 at the time. They had a 40-26 rebounding advantage and shot 49% from the floor. Evan Cox scored 10 points to lead Bryan. Craig Jackson had 8 points and 7 rebounds. Jace Kepler was 5 of 8 from the foul line. And Logan Moss, Carter Dominic, and Aiden Pels each had 3 rebounds. But that game last year was handily won by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think one of the things you mentioned that Bryan cannot do is they cannot get off to a slow start. And last year, Defiance got them down, and they just kept their foot on the gas. And that's what experienced teams do. They don't let up. I think it's the same thing this game, Chris. Bryan has to get off to a positive start. Just kind of hang around and see what happens. Play it in 2 and 4 minute segments. Just keep hanging in and hanging in.
And that's been something that the Golden Bears have struggled with, getting out to an early start. We're going to talk a little bit about how they played last night or on Thursday night at Stryker, and that wasn't very pretty as far as it went. But we'll talk about that. You're in the Oberlin-Turnbull countdown to tip-off. Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, family-owned, family-focused. Going to take a 30-second timeout. When we come back, we will preview Bryan after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters Board of Directors invites you to become Bryan Built.
The Athletic Boosters support our athletic programs in many ways, and that support is made possible through both corporate and patron support.
We are Bryan Built.
Do that.
Back out on the Golden Bears Sports Network, Chris Malanga, Tim Meister here with you. It is Defiance and Bryan. Let's take a look at the Bryan Golden Bears. They're sitting at 2-4 on the season, and the coach Brock Homeyer is second year at Bryan. He is he's now 3-25, and last year they only won the one game against Fairview, and so they've already doubled that win total.
Yeah, when you build a program, sometimes you go through some really tough growing pains, and that's what's happening with them right now. But they are getting better. They're playing better. They're doing some things a little more efficiently. So it's just got to be patient for the Golden Bear fans.
They're averaging 40 points per game and allowing 44.5. They're shooting 38.8% from the field, 22.6 from 3, and 58.4 from the line. And when you're talking to Coach Homeyer, one of the things he said before that Hicksville game was, he said, we are not shooting well for a team as small as we are.
Well, I'm going to probably trump him and say, I don't care how big or small you are. There's an old adage us basketball coaches say. It is, you shoot good, you look good. You shoot bad, you look bad, no matter how you play. But that certainly is, it becomes under somewhat of a microscope when you're small and you don't get a lot of second chance points.
Yep.
And that's just the thing. The way Brock runs his offense is they've got to be successful from the perimeter.
They do. Their last game was Thursday night where they defeated Stryker 37-35. We talked about getting outscored early on. They were outscored 14-2 in the first quarter, but at the final 5 minutes and 18 seconds in the second quarter, they went on an 11-2 run, and they cut the Stryker advantage to 22-20 at halftime. And then Sam Harold and Maddox Langendorfer hit the game-tying and game-winning shots with a minute 31 and 3.1 seconds left to give Bryan the win. And that was an exciting one at Stryker.
Yeah, that's a great come-from-behind win, and two of your veteran players, Maddox and Sam really came through, made clutch plays both on the offensive end and the defensive end.
Maddox finished with 9 points and 3 rebounds. Evan Cox had 8 points and 5 boards. Harold got 7 rebounds, and Kepler secured 6 rebounds. Bryan still had a poor night shooting. They were only 37% from the field, and they only made 3 three-pointers. But they did have a rebounding advantage, 30-25, which is good.
Yeah, and they got some second chance points. They also score from the free throw line. We talked about that last year with this team, Chris. When you don't shoot the ball well, you have to find different ways to score, and getting to the free throw line is very, very important in that type of situation.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at Defiance after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
If you want a quality education with transfer opportunities to 4-year schools, Northwest State is your community's college.
When it comes to diamonds, size does matter, and you'll get a bigger diamond for less every day at Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Plus, you won't find a better selection anywhere in Northwest Ohio. Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Why do so many people travel to Jason Eats Automotive Services in Edgerton when they want their vehicles repaired? Because Dave Brown and Sam Bailey have over 60 years of experience fixing the problems that other mechanics couldn't. They work on all makes and models, and they specialize on imports. Recently, they have expanded their service area by almost 50%, and they've hired Eston Knerk to their staff. So if you have a vehicle, foreign or domestic, that you want fixed right the first time, take it to Jason Dietsch Automotive Services on the east side of Edgerton.
Back on the Golden Bears Sports Network, Chris Malanga, Tim Meister here with you. Let's take a look at the Defiance Bulldogs. They're sitting at 3-1, and WBL actually opened their season already, and they got a big win last night against St. Mary's. Bryn Lehman is their coach. He's in his third year, 33-13 record. They had 3 graduating seniors and 8 returning letter winners, and averaging 48.7 points per game. We're allowing 40.7 points per game. They're shooting 40% from the field, which isn't that much better than the Golden Bears, but they are shooting from 3-point 21% and 64% from the line, but they had an exciting game last night.
Yeah, great win against St. Mary's. Of course, St. Mary's has Austin Parks, the Ohio State signee, at 6'11". He had 26 last night, but they were hard-earned and no one else beat them. And that's a sign of a veteran team where I think Defiance's philosophy was go ahead and get yours, but no one else is going to. A huge win for them.
Braden Shaw scored a career-high 30 points for Defiance. And they won 67-61. Shaw had 3 trays, 7 of 10 at the line, so he can get the points at the line and 3 points, and 19 points from Caden Zacharich, who is just another one of their killer players.
Yeah, Caden Zacharich is by far their best player. What makes him good is he makes everybody else around him really good. He forces teams to focus on him. I think St. Mary's kind of forgot about Braden Shaw. I mean, that's a kid who signed to Akron to play baseball. So he's an athlete, and boy, when they get second and third scores like that, they're really difficult to beat.
Shaw averaging 13 points a game. He's only shooting 33% from the field, though. Caden Zacharich, the 6'6 senior, averaging 15.7 points per game for the Bulldogs, 56%. And let's talk about this Defiance dynasty. I mean, this team has been good for so long, and they're just continuing in the next generation when you look to the coach.
Yeah, I was a part of Kurt Lehman coming back. I was still at Bryan his first couple of years back when he inherited a basketball program that, quite frankly, not only was not very good, Chris, there wasn't a whole lot of interest from the kids playing it. And boy, in a very short time did he turn that around and build it into one of the powerhouses in Northwest Ohio. And then to watch his son Bryn, who was a player when I coached, talk about feeling old, steps right in and he does. He continues exactly what that program and culture was built with his dad, Kurt. Kind of a very cool thing to see.
Absolutely. Well, it is going to be Defiance and Bryan here from the Golden Bears Bears Den. Going to take a timeout, come back with our keys to the game after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
If you haven't stopped by Bryan Ford Lincoln to test drive the all-electric F-150 Lightning
or the rugged and sporty Ford Bronco, we only have one question for you.
Why not?
This Ford Bronco is great for daily commutes or the Outback.
And this F-150 Lightning will do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds without using a drop of gasoline. When you stop by and see us at Bryan Ford Lincoln, you can test drive either of these great vehicles.
Stop by and see us. We'll help you order the exact vehicle that you want and need.
So stop by and see us today at Bryan Ford Lincoln.
When you're looking for that unusual part like a battery for your key fob, or everyday car parts like windshield washing fluid, wipers, motor oil or filters, antifreeze or batteries, don't forget to stop by your local Napa store in Bryan. They have the parts in stock. If you're buying any of these parts from anyone other than Napa in Bryan, you're paying too much.
Back on the Golden Bears Sports Network, Chris Malanga, Tim Meister with you. Let's take a look at our keys of the game, being sponsored by Carlin Company. The Carlin Company Realty and Auctioneers has been your hometown real estate company for over 45 years. They've consistently remained #1 in Williams County and the surrounding area since 2007. Call us for all your real estate needs. The Carlin Company. Let's take a look at the keys of the game for Defiance first, Coach.
All right, for Defiance, I mean, interesting to see if they find a third score. Braden Shaw averaging 13 a game, Caden Zachary after 15.7. They've been really successful with 2 scores, but I think for them to take that next step, they need to find a third one. So is it going to be a David Jimenez? Is it going to be an Isaac Schlatter? Those kids are very capable. A third score makes them awful hard. I think they have to exploit their biggest matchup, Chris. Their biggest mismatch is Caden Zachary. And again, he's big enough that you post him on the block, you got to guard him with your big. He shoots it so well from the perimeter. If you step him out and you try to guard him with a big in the perimeter, now he creates another mismatch. Then the third thing he does, he gets other kids' baskets. So I want to see how Coach Lehman is going to utilize him tonight. And then finally, Defiance has to continue to defend at a high level. They're only giving up 40 points a game. They're limiting their opponents to 47% field goal percentage, 26 on the threes, and they turn you over, which I'm going to talk about in a second.
All right, let's take a look at the keys of the game for the Golden Bears.
First thing, they got to avoid a track meet. This game's got to be in the 40s. If it gets up into the 50s or 60s, that's a really difficult type of pace for Bryan to be successful at. They got to protect the basketball. Here's why. Defiance is turning their opponents over at a rate of 42-24. That means that 14 turnovers a game Defiance is causing. That's allowing them an extra 28 to 42 points a game on turnovers only.
Wow.
And I know Bryan has had some difficulty protecting the basketball. They can't turn it over and give Defiance easy buckets. Then finally, we talked about earlier, consistent scoring. And I think what Bryan has to do, and I always called it running intelligently, do you know when you can push the ball and know if you have an advantage and get an easy basket, but be smart enough to say, I don't have the numbers, pull it out, and then make that possession type of game. If they can get 1 or 2 easy baskets a quarter, that helps them tremendously.
All right, the keys of the game being sponsored by Carlin Company. Going to take this time out, come back with the rest of the national anthem, the game officials, and all that after this on the Golden Bears Sports Network.
I'm Tom Turnbull of Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family-owned, family-focused, celebrating our 100th anniversary. 2022.
It's great working with family. The relationship we have with one another allows us to focus on your family and help guide you through the planning process.
We focus in on your family's needs to make sure that everything is done the way that you and your family want.
Right now, our family wants a Golden Bear victory.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family-owned, family-focused.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
Back out on the Golden Bears Sports Network, we want to thank our sponsors bringing you the game tonight. They include the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Ford Lincoln, Carlin Company, Diamond and Gold Outlet, Jason Deetsch Automotive Services, Laub Auto Parts, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Stockman Lawn Services, Tri-State Vision Center, Welling Construction, Williams County Veteran Services, and Yoder Mechanical and Custom Fabrications, all bringing you the game tonight here on the Golden Bears Sports Network. We're about 30 seconds away from player introductions. Final thoughts before we get that started.
Everything we just talked about, Chris, the most important thing is how this game starts. It cannot start out like it did against Stryker for Bryan, 14-2. Defiance is too much of a veteran team. They're not going to let them creep back into it. So I really want to see what types of things Coach Holmeyer is going to run to get them good quality looks in the early part of the game.
Well, it is Bryan and Defiance. Pretty good crowd here tonight on both sides, and we are about ready to get this one underway. And we will be sending it down to our public address announcer here momentarily for our starting lineups and for our national anthem. So happy to have you here. If you're on BryanSports.com or WOSN, thank you so much.
play our national anthem.
Our national anthem being presented by Veteran Services of Williams County. Thank you so much for joining us. Tonight's officials being sponsored by Tri-State Vision Center. Tri-State Vision Center has been serving the area since 1977. Contact us either at Bryan or Montpelier offices for all your eye care needs. Getting set for our starting lineups. Tonight's starting lineups being brought to you by Yoder Mechanical and Custom Fabrications. Call Yoder Mechanical and Custom Fabrications for all your mechanical piping needs at 419-519-3111. There you have it, the starting lineups. Boy, that was exciting. Langendorfer, Kepler, Cox, Harold, and Dominic for the Golden Bears. And again, the starting lineups being sponsored by Yoder Mechanical and Custom Fabrications for the Bulldogs, Shaw, Kiesling, Jimenez, Schlatter, and Castillo. And we're about ready to get this one underway here from Bryan. Bryan is in their white home uniforms, purple numbers, gold trim, and Defiance in their black jerseys with blue numerals. Something a broadcaster always likes to see, dark on dark.
Dark on dark.
Tip is away, it'll go to the Golden Bears. Chase Kepler will come down with it. Kepler will head to his left, now he'll shift gears, turn to his right, working against Kiesling. Kepler, hands off. Sammy Harold over the top of the key to Joe Watson. Underneath. Back over to Kepler. Back underneath. Harold will turn at the foul line, get bumped, and going to get a foul on the floor. And that'll be a foul, and the Bears will take over.
Great head fake by Sam. Right away, they are going to come out and pressure Bryan 35, 40 feet from the basket. Two things got to happen. Bryan's got to set really solid screens, and they got to be willing basket attackers. They have to get the ball to the basket, or else that pressure is going to eat them alive.
Inbound to Cutter Dominic. Dominic will make a spin move at the foul line, run into a Defiance player, and they'll take it back out to Cox. So the pressure inside is pretty tough with the Bulldogs. Watson almost loses the basketball, looking for some help. He will hand off to Sam Harold. Harold will go baseline, put up a shot. It is good, and the Bears take the early 2-0 lead.
The one thing with the amount of pressure that they're extending is their help side will also extend. That will give drives like that the ability to happen.
Spin move underneath, shot is missed, and that was Zacharich who missed that one. And the Bears will take it the other way. Kepler trying to get it inside. They get it to Cox. Cox will kick back out to Sam Harold. He thought about a three. Now he'll feed it underneath to Carter Dominic. Dominic will put up a shot. No good. Rebound comes down to the Bulldogs.
That's a great look. Coach Homeyer could be thrilled to death with that look.
And we're going to get a turnover right there. Or will that stay here? Nope, they're going to foul.
We got him on the foul on the drive to the basket. You saw the explosiveness of Braden Shaw. I mean, he was one dribble on the floor and right to the basket.
So this will be 2 for Shaw. First one is up and good. He makes the score 2-1 in favor of the Golden Bears. Next one is up and good. So we got a tie ball game here, and now Defiance will put on a little bit of a full court press. Bears had trouble with the press against Hicksville. They do get out of this one, though, down to Jace Kepler all by himself, puts up a shot and good.
Great.
That's one way to press it.
Great press breaker. I think the ball hit the floor one time, 3 passes, layup.
So Defiance will bring it up. This is Shaw. Shaw will go left side to Jimenez. Now they'll go underneath, and that will be a turnover for Defiance. First turnover from either team tonight.
You know, and idealistically, as coaches, you tell your kids, let's play these quarters in 2-minute segments. Let's try to win the first 2 minutes and go from there. So right now, you know, almost 6 minutes left. It's 4-2. Bryan has played the perfect basketball game at this point.
Kepler has it. 3-quarter court pressure coming from Shaw.
At some point, Kepler's got to be willing to put the ball on the floor and get by his man.
Yep. He has it, turns, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Defiance. Defiance coming the other way. Shaw will go through the middle of the key, put it up, count it, and the foul.
Boy, he has a great first step, doesn't he? And he is
does.
So strong.
Foul's going to be on Jace Kepler. It'll be second team foul.
You know, and outside of Jace letting him get a step on him, he really defended that pretty well, and he went up strong. Shaw is just so strong. He went right through him.
The foul shot is good, so Defiance takes a 5-4 lead. Bulldogs still pressing. Kepler will outrun Kiesling, cross the timeline. He'll head to his left side. Looks to Joe Watson, who has trouble with the basketball, able to recover. And Watson is working on Jimenez, and that'll be just a turnover for the Golden Bears. 3 ball in the air the other way. That's Jimenez.
And that's what we talked about. They are so good at turning you over, and then once they turn you over, they capitalize on it. Again, there's that 3 points that they just give themselves an extra chance at.
So it's 8-4 now, Defiance. Cox with the basketball. And it's another turnover, except it went off of David Jimenez, and so it'll stay with the Golden Bears.
Really good timeout here by Brock Homeyer. And since the kids are just starting to get a tad bit frustrated because Defiance is very physical, they're extending the pressure. And I think Brock is going to talk to them about, look, you can't let them guard you 38 feet from the basket and be chest to chest with you and not be willing to put it on the floor and get by them. You don't have to score, but make them either help you or stop you so that gets someone else open. Because if Defiance senses the hesitancy, even as a basketball team, you sense the hesitancy that the other team does not want to take the ball to the basket, you're just going to keep eking that pressure out further and further as the game goes on. So they've got to show that they're willing to beat that pressure with the dribble when they have to.
Tonight's timeouts being sponsored by Stockman Lawn Service for lawn care, snow removal, fertilizer, and spraying. Call Stockman Lawn Service at 419-636-6572. It is 8-4 Defiance. Bears had a 4-2 lead, and Defiance has scored 6 straight. Kepler will bring it out. Give it over to Sam Harold. Harold looking for some help. Will cross-court it over to Langendorfer. Langendorfer gives to Cox. Cox drives and then passes over to Langendorfer, and it's going to be a turnover there. Right idea, just too tall of a pass.
Actually, Chris, it was the perfect idea. He did just what we said. He put it on the floor. He beat the pressure. 2 guys stepped over. They catch the pass. It's a layup. I mean, those are things that they're going to get better at as the year goes on, but that's still the right play.
Bears putting a little pressure themselves on. They get it down and break it down to Kiesling. Kiesling will give to Shaw. Shaw will come through the middle of the key, then dish off to Schlatter. Schlatter puts up a shot and another 3-ball, and that quickly makes it 11-4. And now Defiance continuing that pressure on Kepler. Kepler will go right side against Kiesling. Now he'll go to his left, give to Harold. Harold will give to a streaking Langendorfer, puts up a shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Defiance. Defiance working quickly. Here is Jimenez, goes right through the middle of the key, puts it up and in.
Now it's starting to resemble a track meet, and that's not what you want to get into.
Yep.
So right now, Bryan needs to come down, run a good set, get themselves the foul line, get a good shot, just stop the momentum.
Kepler will go right side now to Langendorfer. They'll go back out top of the key to Harold. Harold will go left side, stop, and give out to Cox. Cox will come inside, put up a shot just inside the foul line, no good. Rebound will come down to Defiance. And they're running quickly. Down, and it is knocked away by Cox, which that was a good play right there.
Yeah, very good defensive play.
So we're going to see Dylan Koenig come in for the Bears. Kepler will have a seat. Let's see if Koenig can handle the ball against the Bulldog defense. Bulldogs inbounding under the key. Put up a shot. Good. That is Caden Zachrich, and that's just too easy.
Yeah, he just presents so many mismatch problems for Bryan.
Koenig will bring it up. Almost had it poked away. Gets it to Langendorfer. Langendorfer gives to Cutter Dominic. Dominic underneath, and the wrong guy was down there as Koenig was down there. Shot missed by the Golden Bears, and then it's stolen right away.
Really intelligent move by Sam Harold there. Had the numbers at 2-on-2, decided to pull it out, understood the momentum of the game. Let's get ourselves a good shot.
Langendorfer looks to go to the hoop, and then he'll get back out to Carter Dominic. Dominic will work around a screen, come inside, put up a shot, no good. And rebound will come down to Defiance.
Yeah, quality shots, they just have to make them. A good move, good strong move. He just has to finish that play off.
Shaw with a basketball between the circles. He'll bounce pass underneath to Jimenez. 3-ball in the air, and that's good. And that is Schlockner. And it is 18-4.
So how do you guard Caden Zachrich? One possession, they put him on the block, he scores. The next possession, he steps out and hits a 3.
Yep.
That's the anomaly. What do? Do you put a big on him? Do you put a small on him? Do you try to double him? He just creates so many problems.
He does. Joe Watson will check back in. He's averaging 15.7 points per game.
He's one of those players we talk a lot about. You know what he scores a game, but how many points a game is he worth? What does he get his teammates and other players? And I mean, he didn't have to touch it, just the attention he draws.
Koenig with it, and we're going to get a blocking foul. That'll be on Schlockner. That's 2 on him, if I'm not mistaken. It's 2.
Yeah, that's key because to me, he's the player that becomes their third scorer, which makes them really difficult to defend.
He's averaging 6 a game, and he has 1.3 assists per game, so he's able to get the basketball where it needs to go. That's the second team foul for the Bulldogs. 2 for the Bears as well. Koenig working up, brings it, bounce pass to Carter Dominic. Dominic waits for some traffic to clear. Now he'll hand off to Sammy Harold. Harold looks to go baseline, then goes to foul line extended, back out to Carter Brown. Koenig has it again in between the circles. Koenig will give to Brown. Brown cross court over to Watson. Watson with a nice catch. Now back to Koenig. Koenig looks to drive, and he got his pocket pick, but he got bailed out with a foul. And that's going to be on number 11, Saldana. That'll be the third team foul. Kepler will check back in, and I think 22 is Aiden Pels, even though he's normally 5.
Yeah, that is Aiden Pels.
Okay. So that'll throw me off all night, but we'll make it work. Kepler with the basketball. Gives over to Watson. They're looking to get Kepler free on the baseline. To Dominic outside, underneath to Pels. Pels watches traffic come by, puts up a shot, it's blocked. That was Khalil Ligon who knocked that away. That's just the third turnover for the Golden Bears. And they called a palm?
Yeah, called a carry. 20 years ago, that was the right call. I don't know what a carry is anymore.
Bears looking at inbound. They need to quickly do it. Pels gets it to Watson. Watson will shake off a defender, give to Kepler. Kepler with the basketball. He'll go left side, give to Brown. Brown, now back to Watson. Watson works around a screen, runs us through trouble, loses the basketball, gets it back, and now we're going to get a foul, I believe, on Defiance. Lots of smacking going on down there. And that's going to be on, who'd they call that on? I think they may have called that one on Ligon, the 6'2 sophomore.
I would like to see Bryan stay aggressive here because all of a sudden they could get themselves in a situation where they're in the bonus in the second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely, and that helps you when the clock's not rolling, you're shooting foul shots.
Yeah, and alleviates that pressure. Great
underneath Carter Brown, he got fouled, missed the shot though, but we'll take it.
So 3 things alleviate pressure. Put the ball on the floor, beat the guy who's trying to pressure you, set good screens, set a ball screen, set good screens, make backdoor cuts. Right there you saw a great backdoor cut by Carter Brown.
So Brown's at the line. I don't believe he's attempted a foul shot this year. First one bounces off the back. Minute 6 remaining, first period, 18-4 Defiance. That one is up and good. So Bears will put on a 3/4 court pressure. Ligon will bring it up. Now he'll give over to Kiesling. Kiesling quickly to Zacharich. In the corner with Kiesling. Jimenez with it. Looks to drive. Ball fake, and we're going to get a traveling violation. That was Schlatter that got called for the travel. So that turnover for Defiance, that'll be their third turnover. So Bears looking to inbound. They give to Kepler. Kepler will give quick to Brown. Brown will cross the timeline. And they're trying to get it back to Kepler. They'll hand off. They'll go sideline, and then it gets knocked away. Dive on the floor, and Defiance will just pick up the turnover for the Golden Bears.
I think Defiance is going to play for the last shot.
20 seconds to go. Seems like a wise plan. You're already up 18-5.
Yeah, I'm going to look for 2 things. So I think you're going to isolate Zacharich on the block or try to bring him up on a high ball and screen and create a mismatch.
Saldana with it. They'll get it underneath to Ligon. Now underneath, there's Zacharich, up and good.
Well run set.
So that'll be the end of the first quarter of play. Your score, Defiance 20, Bryan 5. Going to take a timeout. Back after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
If you want a quality education that leads to great, endless opportunities for future success, Northwest State is your community's college.
If If you haven't stopped by Bryan Ford Lincoln to test drive the all-electric F-150 Lightning
or the rugged and sporty Ford Bronco, we only have one question for you.
Why not?
This Ford Bronco is great for daily commutes or the Outback.
And this F-150 Lightning will do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds without using a drop of gasoline. When you stop by and see us at Bryan Ford Lincoln, you can test drive either of these great vehicles.
Stop by and see us. We'll help you order the exact vehicle that you want and need.
So stop by and see us today at Bryan Ford Lincoln.
Back out on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Some quick stats for you here in the third quarter, or the end of the first quarter rather. Bears are shooting 2 of 9 from 2, 1 of 2 from the line. Defiance 4 of 5 from 2, 3 of 3 from 3, and they're 3 of 3 from the line. So you don't miss a foul or miss a three-pointer. That adds a little bit of stuff with you, doesn't it?
That helps the offensive efficiency.
So Defiance gets it to come out here. Jimenez with it, works around the screen, looks to drive, then he'll kick out. Through the middle, bounce pass over to Frederick. Frederick will give back to Jimenez. Jimenez almost lost the basketball, able to get it to Shaw. Shaw will drive, put up a shot, and it is no good. Bears come down with the rebound. I think that might be one of the few missed shots for Defiance. Yeah. That's only the second missed shot for Defiance. Harold with the basketball. We'll give to Langendorfer. Langendorfer loses it out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Defiance. Langendorfer said, I just didn't throw it out of bounds. It got tipped.
Boy, Defiance is really good at putting pressure on the ball.
They are.
And they're quick. And the thing that I didn't realize till watching them is, if you watch, they're switching every screen. They're so versatile defensively that even when you screen, they're switching the screens.
Quick one for Braden Shaw, and it's 22-5. Sam Harold has it, working against Zachrich. He'll dish it over. It got tipped out of bounds. It'll stay right here. So Sam was looking for Carter Dominic, and it just got tipped.
And right idea. I mean, Sam didn't use his dribble until he had to, put it on the floor, got by him. You can get by Defiance on the dribble, Chris. You just have to do it at the right time.
Underneath to Langendorfer. Langendorfer tries to make a move, puts up a shot. And let's see if they call that on the floor or
should.
That's going to be number 12, Antonio Lopez. That will be on the floor.
So your next foul, you're in the 1-and-1. So if you're Bryan, I do believe that changes your mindset a little bit.
Go for contact even if you aren't going to make it.
Well, the other thing that does is you get them in foul trouble. Now they're not going to step out in pressure because they can't afford to get more kids in foul trouble. So I think it does a couple of things for you.
Dominic with it. He'll give to Kepler, now to Langendorfer. Langendorfer looks to drive. Dishes off, thrown away, and intercepted by Defiance. That'll be a turnover for the Bears. Shaw has it now over to Lopez. Back to Shaw. Shaw looks to drive, dishes to Lopez. Lopez launches a three, buries it. They're 4 of 4 from 3. Yikes. So 25-5 now, 6:13 remaining here. First half, Kepler with it. Bears have not scored more than 5. They had a 4-2 lead, and it is a 23-1 run for Defiance.
That's a pretty good run.
Yes, it is.
So here we go. Now, again, nice job by Jake Cox. I believe he's going to get to the line. Now it comes down, can Bryan make the free throws? I mean, they're going to hang around if they can make free throws.
All right, so Cox will head to the line. He shoots 63% from the foul line. First one, no good. Rebound knocked around, and Defiance will come down with it. Defiance with 7 rebounds already on the night. Shaw will bring it down. Shaw bounce pass. Back out, Zachrich for 3, no good. That was the first missed 3 by Defiance.
Yeah. The last made 3 down here by Lopez was his first 3-point attempt and make of the year, according to my stat sheet.
Wow.
That's a good way to start.
Absolutely. So Bears will inbound here. Shaw coming out and pressuring the ball, but they've pulled the press off. Kepler working against Shaw. Kepler picks up his dribble, hands to Carter Dominic. Dominic will hand to Langendorfer. Langendorfer spin move, looks to go the hoop, puts it up, no good, gets his own rebound, and shot up by Kepler's no good, and Defiance got a rebound. And Defiance will be fouled. I think it's going to be called on Sam Harold. Oh, they're going to call it on Kepler. You see the replay there? And Bears cannot afford to get themselves into foul trouble. Jimenez will check back in. They get it in. Tall pass for Braden Shaw, who catches. Now he's double teamed. Now they left the guy wide open. Shot is missed. Rebound comes down and stolen by the Bears. Good rebound for the Golden Bears. They'll bring it up. 5:06 remaining second quarter. 25-5. Kepler with it. Kepler gives to Harold. Harold between the circles. Now over to Langendorfer. Langendorfer back to Kepler. Kepler drives, stops at the block, and the shot is blocked. Well, that's a nice block right there. Here's the replay. You see him come through the key right on the block, puts up a shot and just blocked. Jimenez got a hand on it.
So athletic to recover so quick.
Kepler looks to inbound, needs some help, gets to Carter Dominic. Dominic trying to back his way in. We'll give to Langendorfer. Langendorfer catches, makes a move. Shot is blocked again. Wow. Bears looking inbound again. Dominic has it off the inbound. He will hand to Sam Harold, who gives back to Kepler. Kepler bounce pass to Dominic, to Langendorfer, shot up and good. That was a nice move right there, Coach.
Great backdoor play. Again, one of the three ways we talked about to alleviate pressure. Great cut.
Defiance coming the other way. Shaw with it. They just want to play fast.
They do. Their offense is so fluid.
Shaw in the lane, up and good. We talked about it not getting into a track meet, and this is what it's become.
It has.
Kepler will get it over, knocked out of the way, and they may actually call a foul here.
Yeah.
They do. Foul will be on Saldana. 8th team foul, so that'll put Maddox Langendorfer to line. Frederick will check in for the Bulldogs.
It's something to keep an eye on is to watch Defiance play here. Caden Zachrich has done a really nice job of kind of playing that help side into the lane. But because he's done that and he's so concerned about playing help side, he's the one Defiance player who has not stepped out and really pressured. He's guarding Carter Dominic. So one of the things I'm interested in the Bryan Golden Bear coaching staff notices is can they take whoever Caden Zachrich is guarding, run him up to the high post area just as a pressure relief to get him the basketball there, because it seems like Caden isn't going to step up and guard him as close as the other perimeter people because he does want to protect the basket.
That free throw missed by the Golden Bears. Defiance will get the rebound. And they'll bring it up. 3:50 remaining here first half. Shaw has it. Now back over to Jimenez, back to Shaw. Jimenez goes baseline, stolen away. Cox will go the other way, put up a shot, and good. So a turnover for the Bulldogs leads to points for the Bears.
Yep, Bryan showing a little token pressure, a little 1-2-2.
And we're going to get looked like Sam Harold may have gotten some contact. We'll see what. And they were going to run Pels in, but apparently Harold's okay.
I'm probably going way out on a limb here, but Sam Harold probably isn't too bothered by that contact.
Definitely not. He's a big dude.
He is. And he's a kid that I just, again, was going to say a couple possessions ago, I'd like to see him get a little more involved in the offense. I don't think he scored tonight, and he's, to me, one of the key pieces for Bryan to score.
Defiance has it. They give it to Zachrich. Zachrich will go baseline, working on Joe Watson. Will turn, put up a shot, and get it. I mean, that's just too easy.
Yeah, this
6'6",
we've talked about. That's the mismatch he just creates.
Watson will go baseline, put up a shot. It's just stolen away by Zachrich. And Defiance will get it down the other way. Shaw puts it up, no good.
Woo.
And now Defiance will miss a shot, and the Bears turn around and miss a shot.
This is not what they want to get into. Really good timeout by Brock Holmeyer. Really good timeout.
29-10, your score with 2:41 remaining. It's going to be a full timeout, so we're going to take it with them. You're watching Bryan Basketball on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
When it comes to diamonds, size does matter, and you'll get a bigger diamond for less every day at Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Plus, you won't find a better selection anywhere in Northwest Ohio. Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon.
Back out on the Golden Bears Sports Network, Chris Malanga, Tim Meister here with you, and Coach, this has turned into Defiance stomping right now.
Boy, they have really played well. I know Caden Zachrich gets a lot of the publicity, and he is really good. But I think the best player on the floor tonight that we've seen is Braden Shaw.
Yep.
He makes his team go. He takes it to the basket with authority. He shoots it. He distributes it. I've been really impressed with him.
And he had 30 against St. Mary's last night.
I understand why now.
Bears nearly turn it over. Carter Dominic does a good job of picking it up off the floor. Dominic looks to drive, turns, works on Zachrich.
Very nice.
Shot up, count it, and the foul.
When we were at break, I was telling my lovely statistician, he has got to get involved because he's the one kid that they're not going to pressure because we talked about before, who's ever in that position right now, it has to be Zachrich, whoever will sub for him. They'll do the same thing. They're kind of the help side guy, so I think he could be a nice spark for them. I hope he looks to score.
Foul shot is missed by Dominic. Main stop scoreboard shows 29-12 in favor of the Bulldogs. Main stops open when you need them. You're always near a main stop. Don't forget about Thirsty Thursday every Thursday, the main stops of Northwest Ohio. 3 ball in the air for Shaw is no good. It went over the top.
I think that was Jimenez on that.
Oh, Jimenez, you're right. And they've taken 7 3-point attempts, and I think they've made 4 of 7, if I'm not mistaken. They were 4 of 5. They missed their last 2. Yeah. Cox with the basketball. Cox will give over to Kepler. They'll try to get underneath to Harold. Harold will try to back the defender off, step away, put up a shot, good.
All right, the 2 players Bryan need to get involved offensively, just hit back-to-back baskets and back-to-back possessions. Let's see if they can get a little run here. Get it under 10 and see what happens.
29-14. It is 15 right now. Quickly, Jimenez will put up another 2. And you can't, I mean, when Defiance is playing this well, you can't just let that happen.
No, and that's tough.
Harold with it. Gives to Watson. Watson turns, tries to find some help, gives to Harold. Harold thought about a 3, now he'll go baseline. And he will be fouled.
Yeah,
and that's going to be on Tyler Frederick.
Yeah, that's a mismatch for Tyler Frederick. And Sammy got him squared up, and he has to defend the jump shot. He's not strong enough to defend the drive. Just a really hard match. I mean, Frederick did a nice job defensively as much as he could. Really good take by Sam there.
All right, so Sam will head to the line here to shoot 2. First one, good. Sam's an 89% free throw shooter. Pels will check in for Dominic. Pels has a little bit of size on him, 5'10" and solid. He might be one to be able to do that too. Second one is no good. Rebound knocked around, and Defiance will come down with it. Jimenez with it, working against Cox. Bounce pass, nearly knocked away by the Golden Bears. Picked up by Frederick. Now they'll go left side to Zachrich. Shaw with it now. Cox tries to steal it away, and Cox ends up with it and will hand to Dylan Koenig. So a turnover for Defiance. That's their 5th of the night. Harold has it now. Out on the perimeter. He will give Koenig now to Cox. Cox looks to drive. Gives back to Harold. Harold drives to the middle key, puts up a shot. Got it. Sam Harold.
Starting to assert himself on the offensive end of the floor.
15 seconds to play here in the half.
You know, honestly, they get a stop here. You go in down by 14. You feel pretty good because this is a game that could be 25 easily, and they've done a great job of hanging around.
3 ball in the air is no good. Rebound comes down to Cox, and the Bears will not get a shot up. There you go. 31-17, your halftime score. Going to take this time out, come back with our halftime report, give you some stats and facts and figures, and analyze this one after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
If you want a quality education that leads to great, endless opportunities for future success, Northwest State is your community's college.
I'm Tom Turnbull of Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused, celebrating our 100th anniversary, 2022.
It's great working with family. The relationship we have with one another allows us to focus on your family and help guide you through the planning process.
We focus in on your family's needs to make sure that everything is done the way that you and your family want.
Right now, our family wants a Golden Bear victory.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters Board of Directors invites you to become Bryan Built.
The Athletic Boosters support our athletic programs in many ways, and that support is made possible through both corporate and patron support.
We are Bryan Built.
When it comes to diamonds, size does matter, and you'll get a bigger diamond for less every day at Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Plus, you won't find a better selection anywhere in Northwest Ohio. Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon.
Help me figure out bench points. We need bench just.
If you want a quality education that leads to great, endless opportunities for future success, Northwest State is your community's college.
When it comes to diamonds, size does matter, and you'll get a bigger diamond for less every day at Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Plus, you won't find a better selection anywhere in Northwest Ohio. Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon.
Where
I got him.
Shaw.
3.
Oh, three bench points for Bryan. 3 bench points for Defiance. 3. Back on the Golden Bear Sports Network, Chris Malanga, Tim Meister, and boy, oh boy, Defiance, all Defiance there in the first half, wasn't it?
Very impressive. Very well coached. They play very hard. They're very solid defensively. They make you do things you're not comfortable with.
They really do. We are in the Bryan Athletic Boosters halftime show, and we always talk about this. I always ask the coaches this. We'll get to stats here in just a second. Tony's trying to finish up, getting him in the computer. But let's talk. You know, you were a coach. You coached for a lot of years. If you're Defiance in the locker room, if you're Bryn Lehman, what are you saying right now to his team?
I think you're talking about how pleased you are with their effort. You're talking about how pleased you are sharing the basketball. The one thing he wants to guard against, or actually the 2 things he wants to guard against, is let's not have a letdown. We have to play a second half, and let's keep ourselves out of foul trouble.
Now, if you're Coach Homeyer, what are you saying the other way?
Okay, so this is going to sound strange to people, but if I'm Coach Homeyer, I'm thrilled to death because, like I said, this could be a 25-point game. The kids hung in there. They turned Defiance over a couple times. They got some kids like Dominic and Harold involved at the end. They made a nice little run. It's 14. This, to me, is where you go into what we talked about earlier is I'm coming out saying I want to win the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. And I've actually done this as a coach, Chris. I told my assistants, at the 4-minute mark of the third quarter, if we're ahead, call timeout. I don't care what the situation, call timeout, bring the kids over and remind them we just won the first 4 minutes. So I think you have to play it that way. And so if you're Brock Homeyer, you're saying, okay, it's 14, let's get it to 10. let's get it to 8. Let's get it to 6, and just kind of get your kids that mindset, because you don't want them to go in and say, okay, it's 14, it's over, because it's not. But you also want to make sure they understand there's no such thing as a 14-point shot. You just got to chip away at it. But let's win those first 4 minutes.
There you go. So good analysis. Let's take a look at our stats. They're being brought to you by Welling Construction. Welling Construction, the third-generation family-owned general contractor. We specialize and pride ourselves in building quality custom homes, major renovation projects, and commercial work. Your vision, our expertise. Contact us at 636-3712. Why don't you read those stats for us?
Okay, from Defiance, for the 8-11 field goals, 4 for 7 for 3, and 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Defiance has turned it over 5 times. They have 3 points off their bench. Huge stat here, 12 rebounds.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
For Bryan, not shooting horribly, 7 for 9 from the field. Have not made a 3-point attempt. The 3 for 8 from the free throw line, I think that's also important too, because
gotta fix
2 or 3 of those were 1-and-1, so they didn't get the second chance. 6 turnovers, which is great. We talked about this. Defiance turns you over an average of 14 or 15 times a game. So Bryan, for the most part, seems to have taken care of it fairly well. They've only scored 1 point off the bench, the Brown free throw. So will they get some more contribution from the bench players? And then again, like we said, the 4 rebounds. But that's tough because Defiance is so athletic and so big. It's not necessarily a Bryan mistake or a Bryan issue. Right now, they're a little more physical and facing a team that's a little more athletic than them.
You got some individual stats, individual scoring totals?
Yeah, individual scoring. Let's start out with Bryan. Carter Brown with 1. Carter Dominic with 2. Jace Kepler with 2. Evan Cox with 2. Tyson Langendorfer with 3. And then Sam Harrell leaves them with 7. For Defiance, Lopez has 3. We talked about his first made 3-pointer of the year. Chris Jimenez has 4. Isaac Schlatter has 6. Braden Shaw has 9. Caden Zachrich has 9. And I want to go back and talk a little bit about Braden Shaw. He has 9 points, but I bet you he has 4 or 5 assists. And the shots he's creating for his teammates off the dribble drive are terrific.
Yeah, he's the true package.
Oh, he
really is.
I heard about him. I know he's obviously a tremendous baseball player. Saw him play last year. The difference between him this year and last year is vast. And boy, has he gotten to be a big, strong kid. I mean, that's a young man that when he goes to the basket, he's going with authority, and contact doesn't bother him.
All right, it is halftime here from Bryan. Your score 31-17 in favor of the Bulldogs. Going to take this timeout, and we'll come back with more in the second half. The main stop scoreboard shows 31-17. Back after this.
Here at the Williams County Veteran Service Office, our mission is plain and simple. We are here to serve our local Williams County veterans and their dependents. We are staffed with trained service officers who have the compassion and understanding to assist their fellow veterans in obtaining all federal and state benefits that they have earned. Additionally, we provide emergency financial assistance and transportation to VA medical centers. So if you're a veteran or a dependent of a veteran, stop in today and see how we can help you at the Williams County Veteran Service Office.
When you're looking for that unusual part like a battery for your key fob, or everyday car parts like windshield washing fluid, wipers, motor oil or filters, antifreeze or batteries, don't forget to stop by your local Napa store in Bryan. They have the parts in stock. If you're buying any of these parts from anyone other than Napa in Bryan, you're paying too much.
Back out on the Golden Bear Sports Network. Halftime, the main stop scoreboard shows 31-17 in favor of Defiance. Main stop's open when you need them. You're always near a main stop. Don't forget about Thirsty Thursday every Thursday. I want to thank our sponsors for you the game tonight. They include the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Ford Lincoln, Carlin Company, Diamond and Gold Outlet, Jason Dietsch Automotive Services, Laub Auto Parts, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, Stockman Lawn Services, Tri-State Vision Center, Welling Construction, Williams County Veteran Services, and Yoder Mechanical and Custom Fabrications. Chris Malanga, Tim Meister here with you. And Tim, I have to correct one of the stats on the Welling Construction stat board. I was a little, that stat for Bryan is not, they're not 7 of 9, they're 7 of 19.
From the field goals.
For the field goals, that makes things just a little smidge differently.
It does, but they're still not shooting horribly. I mean, we've certainly seen them getting bigger droughts than that. I think more so than that stat, Chris. We don't have it, but I would love to know the quality of shots they're getting, because I think they're getting really good shots. I mean, they're not forcing anything. They're not doing anything where they're getting 25 footers. I mean, they're getting good looks at the basket, But again, Defiance is so athletic, they're making it difficult for them to score.
Yep. So we're here at halftime, and we already talked a little bit about what you would say to the different teams, and both teams are out on the field or the court right now again, and it'd be interesting to see how the Golden Bears respond.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they went in the second half with some momentum. At least in my mind, they did. They got two kids who they wanted to get involved in their offense to score. They got Defiance in foul trouble. They got to the free throw lane. Like I said, it's a 14-point game. As a coach, I know what he's going to try to do. You have 2 or 3 set plays that you'll die on the beach for. You just feel like those are the best 2 or 3 set plays you have. I'd be very surprised to not see them run those right away. Try to get it to a 10-point game immediately, and then go from there.
Take a look at some quick scores from around the region. Holgate is down to Tenora, 16-15. That says it's a fourth quarter score. Wow, a defensive battle if that's the case. In the Swanton Bulldogs up over North Central, 51-25, third quarter. It is Wayne Trace over Lincoln View, 38-12 at the half. And Shawnee is beating Upper Scioto Valley, 29-26 at the half. So there you go, a couple of scores from around the region here for the Northwest Ohio basketball. Hard to believe we're already at middle of December.
Oh, unbelievable. It goes fast.
Speaking of going fast, you got a couple more weeks and then you're out.
Yep, that is true.
I bet you're looking forward to that.
Haven't really thought about it too much. As a coach, you learn to compartmentalize things, and I've been able to do that, so I really just think about my tasks day to day. But I think in the next couple of weeks, I'll probably reflect on what has been just a terrific 34-year career in education. And who knows what life has to hold for me, but we'll see.
All right, well, the Bears looking to get something going here offensively.
Love that play right away. Flashed him to the high post. Like we said, Zachrich wasn't always a willing defender that far away. Like the look, offensive rebound. Let's see the second set he's going to run.
He's turned over.
Had the right idea. So 2 good sets to come out. You didn't score, but you got good looks.
Defiance has it going the other way. Shaw with it. Now they'll give to Jimenez. Now baseline, back out to Shaw. Thought about a 3. Takes it. No good. Rebound comes down to Zachrich. Puts it up. No good. Rebound comes down to the Bears. So Bears will bring it the other way. Kepler has it in between the circles. He'll go to his right side, then give it to Carter Dominic.
And there's that high post alleviating the pressure. I've seen Carter Dominic shoot free throws, and he's a pretty good free throw shooter. I'd sure like to see him square up at the foul line and take that 15-foot jumper.
So Bears missed that shot. And it'll be a jump ball after the rebound. Don't know that any team really controlled that rebound. But Defiance will have it. Shaw will bring it up.
Bryan showed a little 1-2-2 pressure.
Defiance able to get it over the timeline. Jimenez with it. Back over to Shaw.
And this is a really good pace for Bryan right now.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a track meet right now.
Nope. I like the fact that, obviously Defiance is very good in their half-court offense, but, it's just advantageous for Bryan to make 7 or 8 passes.
Jimenez puts up a shot and gets it. That one hit every bit of the rim it could.
Yeah, and no problem with the defense Bryan plays. Sometimes good players make tough shots, and Jimenez did right there.
Kepler has it. We'll get it over the timeline. Now right side to Joe Watson. Watson all by himself, baseline, and then dishes to Sam Harold. 3 ball in the air is no good. Rebound comes down. Watson has it, puts it up, gets the foul.
Great hustle play by Joe Watson. I watched him that entire time. That is nothing but an effort play. He made the pass on one side of the basket to Harold. He got to the other side. Harold missed it. Watson relocated on the backside to get the offensive rebound and goes up strong. Just a really good series for Joe.
The 6'1 senior is at the foul line now. First one is up and good. Second one good as well. Makes it 33-19 on the main stop scoreboard. Open when you need them. You're always near a main stop. Don't forget about Thirsty Thursday every Thursday. Defiance will bring it up. Shaw with it. Shaw working against Cox. Bounce pass over. Shot it in the air. 3 ball is no good. That was Schlatter. Rebound comes down to Defiance. Shaw goes in the lane, puts up a shot. No good. Rebound comes down to the Bears. Cox will bring it down quickly. Give it to Harold. Underneath, Watson. Shot up and no good. He gets his own rebound and knocks it out of bounds. I like that. Joe Watson playing well down there.
He is. That's an offensive play he'd like to have back. He'd like to finish that. But, yeah, very active to begin the second half.
5:29 remaining, 33-19. Defiance on top of things. Schlatter with it. Gives out to Zachrich. 3-ball, no good. Rebound tipped around, comes down to the Bears. Bears doing much better on the glass.
Yeah, they finished off their defensive possessions well.
Carter Dominic has it. He'll give to Harold. Harold back over to Kepler. Kepler looking to drive. Hands back off to Harold. Underneath, Watson will give to Carter Dominic. Dominic looks to drive. Puts up a shot and misses it. Zachrich comes down with the rebound. I like that look, though.
Yeah. Bryan has no qualms with their offensive possession in the second half other than just haven't made shots.
And that one Zachrich makes, and we're going to get a timeout for Defiance, a 30-second timeout. So we'll just keep it here as the main stop scoreboard shows 35-19. What have you seen so far in the first 3 minutes and 20 seconds?
Bryan's run their sets. They've got good looks. They haven't necessarily finished the baskets, but they got to the free throw line and they made 2 free throws. They've just got to make the makeable shots. On the other end, they made Defiance work. Again, Defiance made a real tough shot, and then Zachrich made a nice move at the end. But I'm really interested in the timeout Bryn Lehman just called. So he just made a basket to go up 16. And you call a 30-second timeout. One of the two things is going to happen. Either he's noticed something on the defensive end of the floor and he wants to adjust it, or he's going to crank up the pressure, or he's going to go to a trap, or he's going to do something that they haven't seen before just to see if he can get them out of the comfort level they seem to have gotten themselves into.
Timeouts tonight being brought to you by Stockman Lawn Service for lawn care, snow removal, fertilizer, and spraying. Call Stockman Lawn Service at 419-636-6572. We'll get a foul called on Kiesling there as he gave Sam Harold the body. That'll be the second team foul for the Bulldogs this half.
I'm almost expecting some type of a trap on the first pass or a weak side trap.
Give it underneath to Cox, who feeds it underneath and hits the bottom backboard. He's looking for Carter Dominic. That'll be a turnover for the Bears, their 8th of the game. Defiance moving it around. They give it back out to Kiesling, who launches a 3, no good. Rebound will come down to Defiance. Nice rebound there. 3-ball again. That is an air ball. And Joe Watson comes down with the rebound.
Defiance does a nice job of getting the ball to one side of the floor and then reversing it a couple times, making the defense shift. Great play.
Kepler gets underneath,
Great play.
Got the bucket and the foul. So what happened there? Walk us through that play.
So again, we talked about the 3 ways you alleviate pressure, and one of them is a backdoor cut. So that time I'd like to see the replay, but I believe that Jace probably got it off to the high post. His guy never stepped off to help. He made an immediate backdoor cut. They got it to him. And again, when you guard people 25 feet away from the basket, you're giving something up. And Defiance is willing to give that up because they think they're more athletic than them. So just a really good job.
That one is up and good. That makes it 35-22.
So here we are, 4 minutes have expired. If I am Brock, I tell your kids, you won the first 4 minutes. You went from 14 to 13. So I think that's a real positive.
Schlatter working against Carter Dominic. Misses the shot. Zachrich, excuse me. Defiance gets the rebound, though, and we're going to get a foul on the floor.
At some point, I believe Defiance is going to make a real concerted effort to throw it inside to Zachrich. Put him on the block and say, try to stop him.
Well, you'd think when you have that height advantage over everybody else, you might take advantage of that.
Yeah, we get the next break. Let's talk about philosophies of when you have that and what types of things you can do. What a great move there, huh?
And there you go. You talked about it a little bit. He did that right from the middle of the key.
He's just too good to not get him a touch.
Bears bringing it the other way. 37-22. Harold will drive, stop, put up a shot. Good. Got to get him more involved.
Yeah, that's the one matchup Defiance is having a hard time figuring out.
Bulldogs will bring it the other way. Here's Shaw with it. Pass over top of the key. Now to Frederick. Back to Shaw. Shaw looks to drive. Puts up a shot with the right hand, no good. Rebound comes down to the Bulldogs. And that was blocked by Brown.
And off Defiance.
There you go. Carter Brown getting involved off the bench. Brown, a wide receiver for the Golden Bears football team, so, you know, he has a little bit of, you know, making plays like a wide receiver would against a defensive back or vice versa. Shot up by Carter Dominic is no good.
Boy, they're getting really good looks. They just haven't finished offensive possessions with baskets, but again, I think Brock's got to be really happy with the shots they're getting against a really talented Defiance defensive team.
We're going to get a foul called on Jace Kepler with a block.
That's a good call. Jace was about one step away from getting to the spot, but they're going to call it on the floor. Nope, changed his mind, going to make it a 2-shot foul.
Okay, well, he made adjustment there. That's Kepler's third foul.
It's his fourth foul.
Fourth, excuse me. So Kepler will sit down, and Dylan Koenig will come back in. That's a hurt when you've got 4 fouls.
Let's keep this in mind. It's a 14-point game, the 2:24 mark, and Bryan just lost their point guard against a team who likes to step out and pressure you, especially the ball handlers. Let's see how they handle this.
Next one is no good. Rebound comes down to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs with 20 rebounds on the night. Shaw will give. Now they'll go baseline. Easy shot up for the Defiance. And now the pressure comes on.
Yeah, boy, they sensed Kepler got 4 fouls, didn't they?
They get it over to Carter Brown. Brown looks to make a move, goes down the sideline. Then he finds Koenig. Koenig has it. You know, he's got good ball handling skills. He's just stature-wise, it's tough.
Yeah.
And we're going to get a foul called. And Sackrich didn't like that one at all. So,
yeah, that's one where I wish they would just let them play on. I mean, the contact created absolutely no advantage for anybody, and no one really initiated, just 2 kids playing hard.
So Watson will head to the line. First one, no good. And the Bears have struggled from the line tonight. This is 3 of 9, if my math is correct.
And that was the key for them to get to the line, so they've done a nice job of that.
Second one is good. Hayden Pels will check back in. Watson will have a seat. Bulldogs lead 40-25, minute 40 remaining here. Third quarter on the main stop scoreboard. They'll go baseline into Zachridge, count it, and the foul. Well, you just talked about that a couple of drives ago.
Yeah, so as a coach, you've got a choice to make. So you know you can get the ball to Caden Zachridge on the block, possession after possession. Probably going to be difficult for Bryan to stop it. So as a coach, here's your 2 choices. Do you pound it and pound it and pound it and pound it because you're up and say, if you can't stop it, keep pounding it? Or do you go to him a couple times and then back off and put it in your back pocket in case you need it later on in the game, and if Bryan makes a run and say, hey, I know I have something I can go to that's surefire. So those are the types of things being discussed with that staff right now.
43-25, your score, third quarter. Koenig gets it over the timeline, gives to Sam Harold. Kepler is out with 4 fouls right now. Pels has it now. Pels works around a screen from Sam Harold. I don't know that Sam knew he was screening, but he screened. Dominic with it, looks to go baseline, working on Zachridge. He's double teamed. Now he'll spin, put up a shot, and it is going to go off of Zachridge. Yeah. Carter Dominic wants to know why there's no foul whistle.
He's making it tough because he's taking it right into his body, and Zachridge has such a height advantage. I'd really like to see him shoot that 12 or 15-foot jump shot over him because he's giving it to him. You know, make him respect that shot and then work yourself on a drive.
Koenig will inbound, tall inbound to Sam Harold. Harold will give to Koenig back between the circles. Koenig's working on Lopez. Underneath, Carter Brown turns, fires, no good. Rebound comes down to Zachridge. It's almost unfair that he's that tall. Yeah. Now he puts up a spin move, puts up a shot, and they're going to get a foul on Carter Dominic.
Well, we know what they talked about in the timeout now, don't we?
Yep, absolutely.
I think it was, there's a kid with 33 that plays for us, and he might have a little bit of an advantage. Let's get him the rock and see what he can do, huh?
Zachridge averaging 15.7 points per game. First one is up and good. Those sideboards not being on are killing me.
Making you earn your money today, isn't it? Yeah, Caden Zachridge, for a long-time North Ohio sports fan. Got great bloodlines. His dad, James, was a terrific player at Ayersville and at Defiance College. His mom was Kelly Overmeyer, who's one of the most outstanding athletes at Archibald. Three-sport, terrific. So he's got some good lineage in him.
20-point lead for the Bulldogs, and they're pressing. Under 40 seconds to play. And Coach Homeyer will have to call a timeout as that press was just too much there.
If we can go back to 2:24 mark when Jace Kepler got his fourth foul, it was a 14-point game.
Yep.
You know, we're less than 2 minutes after that, it's a 20-point game. And again, it's just little things that handling the basketball, running the offense, the comfort level of other players. Nothing against Dylan Koenig at all. I mean, he's come in and he's been really solid. Just sometimes it takes you out of any type of comfortable rhythm that you may have established.
Yep. And again, Koenig's a good point guard. He has always been a good point guard, but when you're up against, 6'6" and 6'5", a little challenging.
And he's come into running. He hasn't turned it over. You know, he's gotten in their offense. It's just, again, a kid like Jace Kepler who finally got comfortable with the pace and physicality of this game goes out. Now Dylan's got to try to get into that level of comfortableness too. It's hard when you come off the bench, you haven't played a bunch, and now you're in a really important part of the game.
Yep. You're basically running the whole offense.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the junior has experience. It's just, as we said, height-wise.
And you know what? This will only benefit him as the year goes on because they're going to need him down the road.
Pell's with it. We'll give it underneath to Watson, who puts up a shot, knocked around on the rebound, but comes down to the Bulldogs. Bulldogs moving around, playing for the last shot. They'll feed underneath to Zachridge, and they're going to get a foul on Pell's on the floor. I don't know. Not sure about that one. That's 2 on Pell's, though. Defiance done a much better job of holding up on the fouling this half.
Yes, they have. Great adjustment by Coach Lehman.
Underneath to Zachridge, and oh my goodness. Yeah. They'll make the basket, and Zachridge just shoved Pell's out of the way and took that basket. So here it is. Look at that. Just shoved him out of the way. Picked up the basketball off the floor, put it up and in. And that's at the end of the end of the third quarter play. The main stop scoreboard shows 47-25 in favor of the Bulldogs. Back after this.
When it comes to diamonds, size does matter. And you'll get a bigger diamond for less every day at Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Plus, you won't find a better selection anywhere in Northwest Ohio. Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Why do so many people travel to Jason Eats Automotive Services in Edgerton when they want their vehicles repaired? Because Dave Brown and Sam Bailey have over 60 years of experience fixing the problems that other mechanics couldn't. They work on all makes and models, and they specialize on imports. Recently, they have expanded their service area by almost 50%, and they've hired Eston Knerk to their staff. So if you have a vehicle, foreign or domestic, that you want fixed right the first time, take it to Jason Dietsch Automotive Services on the east side of Edgerton.
Back on the Golden Bear Sports Network, 47-25, start of the fourth quarter. Defiance had 16 in that quarter to Bryan's 8.
Yeah. Well, and the key point, too, as my statistician pointed out, Caden Zachridge had 11. So when they came out of that timeout, you know exactly what their game plan was. You know, and kudos to Coach Lehman and his staff for recognizing, hey, let's just make this slight adjustment because it went from 14 to 20 in a hurry.
They've got Kepler back out there now.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
Yep, Watson will go up, put it up the shot, and make the bucket and fouled. So he'll head to the line.
So you start taking some positives if you're Brock Holmeyer, and he'll figure this out going back and watch the film. He's gotten a lot out of Joe Watson tonight. I mean, maybe that's someone who all of a sudden gains some confidence as a scorer, and now you can utilize him a little differently. I think he has played really well tonight.
Watson a point above his average. That foul shot is missed. Rebound comes down to the Bulldogs, who are up 20. And they turn it over. Wow, that was interesting because Sam Harold stood there on the baseline and let that go out of bounds. They called it off on him. Harold in there with active hands on the defense.
Oh, nice play by Kepler.
Away.
Nice play by Kepler.
Up and no good. He'll get his own rebound. Nope, he won't get his own rebound. Hines will come the other way, cross court it. Now to Shaw. Through the middle, counted, and the foul. Tyler Frederick getting in on the action.
Terrific ball movement. I think Defiance reversed the ball twice. I'm not sure every player on the floor didn't touch it at least once. You know what they're really good at, too? They can reverse the ball without ever dribbling. The ball swings from side to side, and there's maybe one or two dribbles, and if they are, they're efficient dribbles with a purpose.
That one is up and good. That makes it 50-27. Kepler will bring it up. I think if I'm correct, Defiance has missed one free throw.
And on the other end, Bryan is 7 for 14 from the line. Good look by Evan Cox again, just couldn't finish.
Quick up and in. Bears have taken a lot. They've taken almost 10 more shots than Defiance, but Defiance has been very efficient with the shots they have taken. Cox with the basketball. Boy, you miss one shot early on, and they give you the airball chant the whole time. Yeah. Cox stops, pops, no good. Rebound will come down to Defiance. 6:24 to play, and Defiance in control of this one. They're just moving it around. Jimenez puts it up, draws the foul. That'll be on Cox. That'll be 2 on him. So now the Bears have got Defiance in the bonus.
Role reversal from the first half, and is Defiance ever so quick as an entire team?
They definitely have speed. Oh, that one's up and good. Going to see Carter Brown check back in for the Bears. Going to see Xavier Irvin check in. You know, Defiance rolls out, you know, a kid, and they just bring in a kid that's 6'5". They roll out a So that one is good. We're going to see Zachrich check in.
You know, there was a time when Defiance talked a lot about having trouble getting their best athletes out for basketball. And I think that's one of the things the Layman's have done culture-wise is kids want to play. They enjoy playing. You can tell the kids enjoy playing for them. So now they're getting the athletes out. Here's a run and jump from Defiance, ball side. Nice job by Bryan.
And then Harold puts up a bucket, no good. Rebound comes down. Defiance will go the other way. Shaw goes to the middle of traffic, puts it up, no good. Rebound will come down, and Zachrich is out of bounds. And that'll be, they're going to call that a jump ball. So the Bears will, nope, Defiance has it. I was going to say.
Possession arrow should have went Defiance.
So Defiance will inbound under their own bucket, get it into Shaw, launches a 3, buries it. Wow. Defiance has just been lighting up the scoreboard. Now it's 30.
They have really played well.
Kepler with the basketball to Harold. And we're going to foul on 20, Irvin. Wants to get his name in the scoreboard. So that's the 16th foul for Defiance.
Yeah, nice job by Sam squaring up his shoulders. He's such a big, strong kid. He squares his shoulders. He just gets half a step by you. He's such a wide body. Just got a knack for getting it to the rack.
Harold will get the inbound pass from Kepler. Now he'll give it right back. Carter Brown has it. Underneath to Sam, then back out. 3 ball in the air. No good, hits the top. And that is only the second three-point attempt tonight for the Golden Bears.
One, I think Defiance has pressured them enough they don't feel like they've gotten a lot of good looks. But two, I think that's probably the game plan that Coach Homeyer talked about is let's see if we can get it to the basket.
Three ball in the air the other way for Defiance. Shot is missed. Rebound knocked out of bounds and will stay with the Golden Bears. And I didn't even see who made that. Attempted that 22. I don't even have a 22. So there you go.
22 is the unknown basketball player.
It is the unknown basketball player.
If we find out, we'd like to give him some props.
Zachrich will block it again. And now it's just stolen away, and Coach Homeyer calls a timeout. We're going to take this one with him. 27 for Bryan, 57 for Defiance. Back after this.
If you haven't stopped by Bryan Ford Lincoln to test drive the all-electric F-150 Lightning
or the rugged and sporty Ford Bronco, we only have one question for you.
Why not?
This Ford Bronco is great for daily commutes or the Outback.
And this F-150 Lightning will do 0 to 60 in 4 seconds without using a drop of gasoline. When you stop by and see us at Bryan Ford Lincoln, you can test drive either of these great vehicles.
Stop by and see us. We'll help you order the exact vehicle that you want and need.
So stop by and see us today at Bryan Ford Lincoln.
Back out here at Bryan, it is Defiance 57, Bryan 27 on the main stop scoreboard. Open when you need them. You're always near a main stop. Don't forget about Thirsty Thursday. Every Thursday, 79-cent beverages on Thursdays. To go out on next Thursday and grab myself something on Thirsty Thursday.
Nice cold Diet Pepsi.
That's right, absolutely. You and I are the same way, brother. I was out to eat today, and the waitress came by and asked if I wanted more Diet Pepsi, and I said about a half. She said, "Do you want one to go?" I said, "I want a half," and then I want one to go.
Really, 1.5.
That's right. Bears have it. Kepler with the basketball. And, you know, what do you do at this point, you know, out of that timeout? I know that was to stop and get the ball back, but, like, what do you say to the kids right now about they're down 30? You don't want them to get discouraged. What do you do?
It's a great question. It's game 6, game 7 for Bryan. They have 15 more to go. You talk to the kids, it's all about getting better. In the situation they are in, they have to take every opportunity to improve, and every minute of game time that these young kids get is important. So if you're Brock, you talk a lot to your kids about run your stuff. Don't let this get to be open gym. Make sure we're still doing what we're doing. Quit looking at the scoreboard. Let's just make sure we're doing the things that we know we have to get better at. Playing really good teams like Defiance helps you as long as you can maintain your kids to not let it get out of hand. Let's keep trying to do the things that we do.
Sam had both those foul shots, so that was good. And a scoop shot layup by Braden Shaw, and that was just too easy.
Boy, is he a tough guard.
He is tough. Brown has it. Now they'll give to Harold. Harold thought about a three. Now he takes it. 3-ball top of the key. Boom. That's just the third three-pointer of the night. I mean, boy, might have wanted to figure that out a little earlier, huh?
Yeah.
Underneath. And Shaw will put up another one and make that.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing that Brock's not going to be happy with in the second half, especially the last half of the third and fourth quarter. They've let Braden Shaw get into the paint almost at will.
Yep. Shot is missed by Kepler. He'll come down, pick up the rebound, and then lose it. So good effort there by the Golden Bears.
Oh, what a pass.
And what a nice inbound. And Harold commits the foul.
What a great look by Braden Shaw. All he needed to do was to get Carter Dominic to commit one step, and Carter had to. He had no choice. But once he made that step, he made the right pass. And in all fairness to Braden Shaw, I've talked about all his physical gifts, Chris. He's a really smart basketball player.
Yes,
he is. He understands how to play. He understands where the other 4 kids are at. He leads by example. Just terrific. The best player on the floor tonight. And that's no slight against Caden Zachrich, because I think he's really good too. But tonight, Braden Shaw was the best player on the floor.
And that's been a couple of nights in a row now. I had 30 against
You know how good
St. Mary's.
Good teams become great when their good players decide to become great. Caden's actually a great player. All of a sudden, Braden Shaw thinks he's one too because he is one. As we said, where's that third guy come from?
Yep.
Then they become really dangerous.
Carter Dominic puts up a shot, gets it.
Nice move by Carter.
Real nice move. Defiance will bring it up. Unnamed 22.
They have a freshman 22. I don't know if this is a freshman playing or not. I'd like to know because 22 certainly is very nice.
Yes, he is. And he misses that shot, and we're going to get a rebound as Sam Harold hits the deck on top of the basketball. Ouch. Here's this on replay. Sam was going for the rebound, just got it. And Sam's actually going to get the foul on that. That's the bad one. You get the worst end of it. Fall on the basketball, and then you get the foul called. Irvin again at the line, puts up that one, and it is good. This will be the 13th free throw attempt for Bulldogs. That one is good. 31-point lead, and Defiance will pull the press off. Let the Bears bring it up. Koenig with it. Give to Harold. Underneath to Carter Dominic at the foul line. He'll drive. Dish out. 3-ball in the air for Carter Brown. No good. Rebound tipped around and comes down to Defiance.
Yeah, I think at some point Brock's got to think about something here. You don't want to get your kids hurt.
Yep.
You know, right now you got a 30-point game. Let your young kids get some experience. Keep yourselves healthy. It's a very long season.
2 more for Defiance. We're going to see Ryan Dunn check in here. I'm not entirely sure there's that many off the bench that haven't played. The only other one you got out there is Jack Kennedy. That is a 3-ball, Sam Harold. You got Jack Kennedy and Ryan Dunn are the only 2 that haven't played. They got Dunn ready to sub in. Shot up and good for Defiance. That is Caleb Lagan.
Well, a really nice move. You don't see that very often. That's kind of an old school pull-up jumper. Get in the lane instead of trying to go all the way to the basket. Stop. Give yourself a good 12-foot jumper, and boy, you're doing a nice move.
Dominic underneath. Got the bucket and the foul. The Bears not going away.
Oh, and you know, there's some things, again, that you really walk away from this game saying I feel pretty good about. Sam Harold and Carter Dominic, undersized inside, have really come alive in the second half and scored some points. So those are things you want to see continue.
Dunn will actually come back out. They're going to wait till after the foul shot. That's up and good. So Dunn will check in. That's Gavin Jessing, is that right? I believe.
Looks like we have Brown, Landon Bassett, Dylan Koenig, Aiden Pels.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Landon Bassett I did see come in there.
And Ryan Dunn. Those are your 5 on the floor.
Oh, Dunn's just checking in. 40, is that Gavin Jessing 40? Okay, Gavin Jessing is 40. First one's up and good. You have their full roster there.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is this might be Josiah Lammers, a 5'11 freshman.
He looks about 5'11.
He's the only 22 on the roster.
That next one's up and good too.
Well, we feel bad for not knowing 22's name in any roster that we have, but he's a very nice player and he's done some really good things tonight.
Bassett with it, looking to drive. Then he'll give back out to Dunn. Dunn. Now to Brown. Brown puts up a shot off balance, no good. Rebound comes down to Defiance. Shot up and good again. Wow. Foul's going to be on Brown. First one is no good. And we're under a minute to play now. Koenig will bring it up. Hand off to Dunn. Dunn launches a three, no good. Rebound comes down to Defiance. Moving around, looking to drive again. Cross court. Nearly turned over by the Bulldogs. Three ball in the air, no good. Rebound comes down to the Bears.
Nice rebound.
Quickly down, Bassett will take it at the line. Shot up and miss, but he will head to the line.
Nice job by Landon Bassett after that defensive rebound. He got out and ran the floor, got up. The guy in the basket on the wing, he took one dribble and went about 12 feet. And that's just an efficient use of his dribble, took it up strong. So hopefully the young man can convert on a couple free throws.
Should be a two-point shot. Two foul shots, I mean. First one, nope, it was a one.
Called that on the floor.
They called that on the floor. That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
73-40. And this is basically the last possession. Although the Bears are scooping and trying to knock it out.
Yeah. That will tell you a lot about kids and how they feel about playing for a program. They don't look at the score in the game. They're still giving max effort.
All right, I think what they're talking about is that last one should have been a two-shot foul. So Landon Bassett's going to head to the line again. That's exactly what they're doing. So Landon Bassett are going to head to the line to shoot. It was a 10th foul, Tim, and I think they only gave him the one shot.
So that's interesting. So
did they let him go back and do it?
Yeah, they're calling this correctable.
And he missed it, so. I've seen a lot of correctable things this basketball season already.
That might go down in the history of the longest two-shot free throw I've ever seen.
I think there's a good 45 seconds in between that. Clock time, 8 seconds to go. Koenig goes to the line, puts up a shot, will hit at the line. So Koenig will head to the line to shoot two, 5.4 to go. So let's see what Dylan can do here.
Hopefully Dylan can get on the scoreboard. Got thrown into a tough spot tonight, and I thought really handled himself well.
Yep. Up and good. 73-42, and Defiance is happy to just let this one tick down. And the main stop scoreboard shows 73-42 in favor of the Bulldogs. And the Bears will not get win number 3 tonight, but the Bulldogs will get win number 4.
Bulldogs will get win number 4 in very impressive fashion. Again, well coached. They executed on the offensive end. They executed on the defensive end. Just a terrific performance by Defiance.
All right, we're going to take a timeout, come back with our post-game show, give you some final stats and more after this on the Golden Bear Sports Network.
If you want a quality education that leads to great, endless opportunities for future success, Northwest State is your community's college.
The Bryan Athletic Boosters Board of Directors invites you to become Bryan Built.
The Athletic Boosters support our athletic programs in many ways, and that support is made possible through both corporate and patron support.
We are Bryan Built.
When you're looking for that unusual part like a battery for your key fob, or everyday car parts like windshield washing fluid, wipers, motor oil or filters, antifreeze or batteries, don't forget to stop by your local Napa store in Bryan. They have the parts in stock. If you're buying any of these parts from anyone other than Napa in Bryan, you're paying too much.
I'm Tom Turnbull of Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused, celebrating our 100th anniversary, 2022.
It's great working with family. The relationship we have with one another allows us to focus on your family and help guide you through the planning process.
We focus in on your family's needs to make sure that everything is done the way that you and your family want.
Right now, our family wants a Golden Bear victory.
Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory. Family owned, family focused.
When it comes to diamonds, size does matter, and you'll get a bigger diamond for less every day at Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Plus, you won't find a better selection anywhere in Northwest Ohio. Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Why do so many people travel to Jason Eats Automotive Services in Edgerton when they want their vehicles repaired? Because Dave Brown and Sam Bailey have over 60 years of experience fixing the problems that other mechanics couldn't. They work on all makes and models, and they specialize on imports. Recently, they have expanded their service. When it comes to diamonds, size does matter, and you'll get a bigger diamond for less every day at Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Plus, you won't find a better selection anywhere in Northwest Ohio. Diamond and Gold Outlet in Napoleon. Why do so many people travel to Jason Eats Automotive Services in Edgerton when they want their vehicles repaired? Because Dave Brown and Sam Bailey have over 60 years of experience fixing the problems that other mechanics couldn't. They work on all makes and models, and they specialize on imports. Recently, they have expanded their service area by almost 50%, and they've hired Eston Knurk to their staff. So if you have a vehicle, foreign or domestic, that you want fixed right the first time, take it to Jason Eats Automotive Services on the east side of Edgerton.
No, they can't be right.
Back out on the Golden Bear Sports Network, Chris Malanga, Tim Meister here with you. It is Defiance defeating Bryan by a score of 73-42. And Tony's getting the stats put in the computer, so we'll just talk about this one.
Well, it's a tale of two teams who are in different stages of their program lives. You know, Defiance is well established. They have 5 seniors that all suffered a really difficult sectional upsets in Napoleon last year. You can't tell me that does not drive them each and every day. I know that's talked about. And you can tell they're a team that's experienced. They don't get rattled. On the other side, though, for Bryan, when you play a team like this, I still think it's good for you, Chris. And people remember back when I coached, our opening weekend was OG and Van Wert, and often those ended up in back-to-back games like this, and they said, why do you play that? And it's the theory of you hang around the barn long enough, you start to smell like the animals. You've got to expose your kids to great competition. And I thought Bryan did some great things tonight. They got good looks. They didn't make baskets, but they got good looks. You know, Defiance's pressure, as good as it was, it really didn't impact the outcome of this game. The Bryan kids did a terrific job of handling the basketball and getting themselves looks. So it just comes down to the old bugaboo is they've just got to figure out how to score and be a little more consistent. But here's a reality, and no offense to anybody. Bryan could play Defiance 15 times, and they're going to lose to him 15 times just because they're at a different point. But I still see a lot of progress in the Bryan program getting better, so I still think there's better days ahead for them.
Let's take a look at some individual stats. First off, our stats tonight being brought to you by Welling Construction. Welling Construction is a third-generation family-owned general contractor. We specialize and pride ourselves in building quality custom homes, major renovation projects, and commercial work. Your vision, our expertise. Contact us at 419-636-3712.
Okay, unofficially, Lagone had 2. Lopez had 3. Number 22, who we don't know his number because he wasn't on the roster but played really well tonight, had 4. Frederick had 5. Schlatter had 6. Irvin had 6. Jimenez had 8. Braden Shaw had 19. And then leading the way was Caden Zachrich with 20.
2 players in double figures.
Shaw and Zachrich were a terrific duo tonight.
And who was the third guy? We didn't get, well, maybe Jimenez?
Yeah, early on, you know, Jimenez had 8. Schlatter had 6. Schlatter got himself in foul trouble. You know, when you have 8 guys, 9 guys score, you know, it almost makes up for that third guy.
All right, for the Golden Bears.
So for the Golden Bears, Brown had 1. Cox had 2, which I thought was kind of a key 2. He's our leading scorer coming to the game, and they handcuffed him to 2. Langendorfer had 3. Kepler had 5. Watson had 5, and I thought he played really well tonight. Koenig had 2, and then Dominic had 7, played very well the second half. And then leading the way was Sam Harold with 17.
All right, let's look at our final stats being sponsored by Welling Construction. Defiance 21 of 40 from the field, 5 of 6 from three-point, 16 of 18 from free throws, and they had 6 turnovers, 15 points off the bench, and 29 rebounds. Meanwhile, the Golden Bears were 12 of 40 from the field, 2 of 6 from three. They were 12 of 20 from the foul line. They had 8 turnovers, 6 bench points, and 13 rebounds. So one of the stats that look at that right away is bench points, 6 for the Golden Bears, 15 for.
Yeah, and the other stat that really jumps out there is the rebounds too.
Yep.
You know, as well as Bryan fought and battled underneath, I thought in the second half when Defiance started to stretch it out a little bit, and even some in the first half, they got some second chance points off of offensive rebounds and kept some possessions alive.
All right, want to thank our sponsors one more time. They include the Bryan Athletic Boosters, Bryan Ford Lincoln, Diamond and Gold Outlet, Jason Dietsch Automotive Services, Laub Auto Parts, Northwest State Community College, Oberlin-Turnbull Funeral Home and Crematory, and Veterans Services of Williams County. Want to thank our broadcast crew. Our broadcast crew, the director and engineer is Tony Malanga. Our cameras, Tristan Atkinson, John Tripodi. Want to thank our athletic department here at BHS, Chad Savage and Teresa Kuzmal. Want to thank Golden Bear Photography, Matt Neff, Stephanie Ponzak, and Nathan Keel. Want to thank our staff back at WOSN, Ben Reif, and want to thank tonight, especially Karen Meister, for doing our stats tonight and did a heck of a job.
One more night she carried me.
That's right. The Golden Bears will be at Napoleon on December 17th. We'll have that game for you on Q96.5. Then they play versus Pettisville here at home, versus Archbold here at home. That game's on the Q on BryanSports.com and WOSN versus Elida, and then after the first of the year there, again, Delta. Pettisville will be on B-Rock.
You know, and looking at those 5 games, honestly, those are all 5 games that are very winnable for Bryan. I mean, very winnable.
Let's take it. Do you have the upcoming schedule for Defiance, Tony, or no? Upcoming schedule for Defiance? We do. Okay, they're playing Van Wert, Findlay, and then they'll be in their holiday tournament, Shawnee and Wauseon. And, well, that's a haul. Van Wert, Findlay, Shawnee.
That's the league they play in. The right. WBL, they travel, and that is a tremendous league, and they come back and play there on the 7th. That's also a huge rivalry game, or has become one, is Wauseon Defiance. So a lot of good basketball to be played yet.
All right, well, Mr. Meister, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. It's always a pleasure, and as I said, no one can ever really fill in for Brian Arnold, so I just tried.
Our next game Tuesday night is the girls host Napoleon. That game will be live streamed on BryanSports.com and air later on WOSN. Andy Briggle has radio coverage on B-Rock that night as well. This broadcast is for the private use of our audience. Any duplication or other use of this broadcast, including descriptions or accounts of the game without the express written consent of the Golden Bear Sports Network, is prohibited. The Golden Bear Sports Network is a free public service of Malanga Enterprises, LLC, all rights reserved. One final time for Tim Meister and all of us at the Golden Bear Sports Network. I'm Chris Malanga. Your final score is 73-42 on the main stop scoreboard. Have a great night, everybody.